Star Wars 7x7 episode 2074. Just the other day we talked about some fast facts about the good guys from Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker in the Galactic Guide from DK Publishing, and today we're going to talk about some fast facts about the bad guys. Punch it! Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7x7. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode. So yes, on Friday we talked about the good guys, and thank you again to DK Publishing for sending me a copy of the Rise of Skywalker Galactic Guide to check out and review and share with you, and we'll talk more about that sharing a little bit later, but now we're going to jump into some fast facts about the bad guys in the Rise of Skywalker, and a couple of additional facts as well. So the interesting thing is that there's no mention of Palpatine in the Galactic Guide, and I have to imagine this has to do with production deadlines and wanting to maintain the secret until Lucasfilm was ready to reveal the secret. And so, as a result, some of the information in the Galactic Guide is... let me find the right word for this. Well, I guess it doesn't necessarily give you the complete picture of things. Like, for example, it says that Kylo Ren has been experiencing mysterious Force visions. And so you get the idea that if you hadn't seen The Rise of Skywalker, that might have something to do with him looking for this Sith Wayfinder and wanting to go to Exegol, and not because there was a galactic broadcast from Palpatine driving this or something like that. Ultimately, it's probably both, right? But, you know, that's all supposition. Let's talk about what we do know from the Galactic Guide. First of all, it says that Supreme Leader Snoke made Kylo Ren take a test or pass a test in order to be deemed worthy of leading the Knights of Ren. We find out that he likes having the cool, jagged look to his lightsaber, that he could fix it, but he doesn't want to. And we also find out that the Knights of Ren themselves, they have limited force powers, but they are untrained. And to give one particular example, there's one guy who is able to incite fear in his opponents, but doesn't even realize that he's doing it. It's just part of his natural force projection ability. And we know that the cultists are named the here we go with pronunciation again. Alasmec cultists, right? And it turns out that Mustafar has been cooling down somewhat. It's been getting a little more temperate. And so I guess it allows people like these folks to come to the planet, and they are devotees of Darth Vader. Those are the folks that Kylo Ren and company are smashing through in order to get that Sith Wayfinder at the beginning of the movie. And that Wayfinder leads them to Exegol, which is described as a power base for the Sith Lords in the unknown regions for 1,000 years. And it is there that the Sith cultists have been building up an army. It says in the book that the Sith troopers are not force sensitive, but that they are better trained than the First Order military. So they're better at their jobs after all. And from a vehicle perspective, so the Star Destroyers are very similar to old school Star Destroyers, except they have their own planet-killing weapons. Fantastic for them. The First Order has developed the TIE Whisper, which is a TIE fighter that has a hyperdrive in it. And the thing that Kylo Ren is flying is a modified TIE Whisper, if you will. It looks like the TIE Silencer version of the TIE Whisper. There's also these new Sith TIE fighters that they have that instead of the standard hexagonal side panels, they look like triangles. Those are TIE daggers. Oh, and I meant to tell you about the Sith troopers. So again, not force sensitive, better trained than the First Order military, but the best of the best are referred to as sovereign protectors. And so these Sith loyalists have obviously been at it for a while. The First Order was largely unaware of this, but according to the book, there were some people in the First Order who were aware of this happening. And I have to wonder if Allegiant General Pride was one of those folks, considering the fact that he was in touch with Emperor Palpatine in the movie. It does seem to suggest that he must have had some knowledge of this. And eventually Kylo Ren finds out that there are people in the First Order who are aware of these Sith cultists, and they want him to become the next Lord of the Sith. All right, a couple more random fast facts for you. First of all, Kef Bir, which is the moon of Endor where the Death Star wreckage is, we find out that the wreckage has polluted the oceans, toxic pollution in there. And we also find out that the Ewoks named the moon Kef Bir, right? So that's actually an Ewok name for the moon, which is fun. As far as Kijimi goes, we find out that it was not ever affiliated with the New Republic, so it's been a scoundrel planet all this time. And Kijimi City was apparently the home for a Dai Bendu monastery, which sounds very ancient Jedi-like, if you will. And that giant serpent that Rey heals and tames is called a Vexus. And Lando Calrissian, in disguise on Pisana, is known simply to the people around him as the Hermit. And so there you go, fast facts about Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, the Galactic Guide, and there is one other thing to share about that book, which is going to be shared with you, literally. And I'll tell you about that after the break. Stay tuned. Hey Rebel Rouser, I've made some changes to the asteroid belt level at patreon.com/SW7X7, and they are all with sponsors in mind. So if you want to get the word out about your business, your product, your service to a dedicated Star Wars audience, then please check out patreon.com/SW7X7 and look for the asteroid belt level for details. Again, that's patreon.com/SW7X7. Welcome back. As in studio, I'm joined by our video production assistant, Padme. Just a reminder, like I said on Friday, that I will have an extra copy of the Galactic Guide to share with you, and I'll be giving you more details about that giveaway on a later episode of the show, along with some other things we're going to be giving away later this month. And that's going to do it, though, for our look at the Galactic Guide for the time being. So thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the show. And as always, may the Force be with you wherever in the galaxy you may be.
Star Wars 7x7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars-related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2020 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.